Welcome to Jerking Around, a podcast that makes you feel better about yourself because we're a mess, just like you.
And Crystal makes fun of me the whole time.
And it's great, and it's real. Welcome
to Jerking Around.
We're back, guys.
Is that lively enough for everybody?
Yes. Again, thank you for listening. I'm going to remind you again, we had a few people share last week. If you like this, share it with your friends. Tell them about it. If they're struggling in life, marriage, or just want to laugh, that's what we're here for. And also, if you don't mind commenting on the bottom and giving us a review, that would really help us get out to more jerkies.
5-star only reviews, please.
Yeah. Well, you guys, Tisha finally listened to Jerking Around.
I know.
We were on a long drive home. And
she wanted to put it on, and I was like, don't put it on. I didn't want to listen at all. And then I was like, no, don't put it on. And then she's like, no, I'm putting it on.
Yeah, and we were crying, laughing.
I was laughing so hard.
At ourselves.
I know. I was like, I'm funny, you know? Like, I knew I was funny. I sound so conceited. It's not. I swear.
I tell her all the time, let other people compliment you.
Yeah, so can you tell me how funny I am?
No, she
no,
was.
I was like, I am
Did
funny.
we listen to Stabler? Yeah.
Yeah.
My cousin wrote back. She's like, when they say too much, like it is a thing. Yeah. In the bedroom, sometimes talk is cheap.
Yeah.
You're thinking of,
well, it's funny because we were listening to the podcast and we had our daughters in the car, and it's like, I'm on there and I'm talking, oh, my daughter, she's never going to listen to this, and she's in the back seat. I was like, oh.
So I played it because I am trying to listen to edit, and I don't always have a lot of time to do that. So when I drive far, I always try to put them on. Mm-hmm. And my daughter was in the car with me, my 13-year-old, who's in, we talk about her all the time on here. 15.
Did she just turn 15?
15.
Yeah, in November. Yeah. 13.
That's like, awful. That's Hudson's 13.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she was in the car, and it is naughty, but sometimes how naughty we think it is in our heads or on the clips, it's really not that naughty. Mm-hmm. So we were listening, and she was dying laughing. Loved it. So then it got to Stabler, and I turned it off, and she's like, why'd you turn it off? I want to listen more. So we put another episode on. But it was good that she liked it. So many things to talk about from this week. I want to touch on a little bit of the celebrity news that Tisha doesn't care about. But I really am invested now. I am so invested in Paige and Craig, which if you don't know who they are by now, you know who they are from the podcast.
Yeah.
So Paige is from Summer House, Winter House. Craig is from Southern Charm. And sometimes Summer House and Winter House. They broke up. We've talked about it a lot. I was Team Craig. This week, Austin from Southern Charm was on Watch What Happens Live. And he said that Craig is really hurt by the breakup and the alleged cheating that we talked about. So Paige came out today and actually spoke against it. Said they've been broken up since November. She never cheated emotionally.
Oh, really?
Or physically, yeah. But I'm like, but I know you didn't cheat, but did you talk to a guy that was engaged?
Yeah.
Like, I believe her that she didn't cheat, but she was like, I just think it was a quick move on.
Well, and the girl said that did happen.
Yeah, but she didn't like address that. She said, I didn't cheat emotionally or physically on Craig. But that's not what the girl was saying. The girl was saying that you were emotionally cheating. He was emotionally cheating.
Right.
So I feel like it's true, but I feel like we left some things out.
It was totally true.
And she wanted Craig to speak against the cheating, and he wouldn't. So I'm like, something's weird.
Yeah.
But is there too soon to move on? Because then I was thinking about it, and I'm like, I met Kyle a month after my 1.5 year relationship. And it was, because she's talking, and she's like, it's been 2 months. I'm like, that's not that long. But then I'm like, I met Kyle a month later.
Right.
And we were engaged 5 months later.
Well, I don't think
crazy.
you break up the moment you know it's not right. It kind of drags on.
That's what she's saying.
So by the time you break up, I think you're kind of already partly moved on.
That's what she's saying. And she's saying everyone says that it was sudden, out of nowhere. She's like, only we know it wasn't. So I think there was some buildup.
Right.
And I think you're right. I think she was, before that, and we also said to counteract us, that no girl breaks up out of nowhere, but you do build the breakup.
Right.
So I do think she was building the breakup, then she left. Then
by the time you break up, you're sure.
She was sure.
You're like, I'm done.
So I do take it back. I think it's just all of us seeing them move on so fast. That was hard for me. Like, what are you doing?
I feel like Ben broke up with someone and we started getting.
You feel like, or that happened?
That did happen.
Yeah, I feel like, or this
I feel like this happened, and
How
it did.
soon?
I don't know.
Have you told some months?
No.
We're not telling some months.
No, we're not. I do feel like it was very soon.
Such a good story, though.
I don't know the exact but it was quick.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and you sparked.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think it's fine. If it's not right, it's not right, and then you can meet the right person a month later.
Yeah, I agree. So Paige, if you ever do listen to our podcast, I apologize. But Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively, I can't get enough of this story.
Yeah.
I cannot get enough. You don't care that much, clearly. But Candace Owens is weighing in. Some heavy hitters are weighing in.
People care.
Yeah.
Just not
Megan Fox is like, no.
Megan Kelly?
Yeah, Megan Kelly. Megan Fox doesn't care.
I know. I think she's got her own things going on, you know?
Oh, Megan Fox.
I know.
Ugh, Machine Gun Kelly, it's so wrong.
Yeah.
But anyways, let me just fill my fix on getting to talk to anyone that
I do love Megan
cares.
Kelly.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah.
Her podcast. So her and Candace Owens are now top podcasts this week, and they were hitting this topic really hard. But Justin Baldoni It Ends With Us, the movie. There's a lot of drama about it. But he made a website that features all the info about the lawsuit, which is just mind-blowing.
Right.
And literally...
And you went to it?
Yes. I want to share it on Jerking Around. Everyone should go to it.
What's on it?
Every text message they've ever written to each other, every document, every story of what really happened.
Is it incriminating? Like for her?
She
looks stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's this big talk about her meeting with the, what are those people called? The affection...
Oh, intimacy coordinator.
Intimacy coordinator. He was so excited.
How do you get that job? I want to get that job.
What is it coordinating to? This goes there?
Stick it in, you know? Well,
I don't get it.
Right.
What happens there?
I would be a horrible intimacy coordinator. It'd be like, missionary again. They're all, get someone new in here. You'd be great. They're all, this lady's a freak. They're like, baby girl, Crystal Holdsworth, intimacy coordinator. I'm more like the Duggars, intimacy coordinator.
You don't even kiss. You don't even like to kiss.
Yeah, no.
You would be horrible.
Right.
Are you like grabbing his head when you're kissing?
Wait.
His top head? His hair of head?
No. You do that?
Oh my God, Tisha.
I'm like, what is top?
You don't like make out?
I'm just not a make out kind of girl. Like we're not.
You don't tongue kiss your husband?
I have, but not every time we do it.
Like, what?
But why? Like, we're not 15 in the back of a car, you know?
It was fun 15 in the back car, and why not?
I know. I don't have time.
You don't tongue kiss him at all?
I do sometimes, just not every time.
So is your head, like, turned?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I can't picture.
Are you looking in each other's eyes?
No.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Mishies.
Yeah. That'd be a horrible intimacy coordinator. Again, you know?
Justin picked him one out, hired it, told Blake about it, so excited. And she said, I'm okay. I don't think I need to go to that meeting.
Right.
It's crazy.
But then she accused him of meeting without her.
Allegedly, yes.
Yes.
Allegedly.
Accused, yeah, exactly.
I am now on Jerking Around on Instagram, and now I'm seeing all those horrible messages. So now they're like, aren't you supposed to say allegedly? So now I'm like, allegedly. This is all allegedly.
Crystal does this thing where if it doesn't happen to her, she's like, that doesn't happen.
So do you.
And then, so I was getting, because I was on Jerking Around, I was getting all these messages that are like, kill yourself.
Yeah.
And I was like, I should kill myself.
Yeah, and you do the same. You said how stupid it was.
And I was so upset. And then now that she's getting the messages, she gets, because it just comes on your feed.
I'm sorry, gambler.
True. Touche. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We need to
I'm sorry. Jerking Around sucks. Oh, listen, loved it, laughing.
Yeah.
Relating. You were relating, too. You're like, this is good.
I
I'm
was
like,
laughing so hard.
yeah, so we all do it. Everybody does it.
Yeah.
It's easy to say until it happens to you.
We should tell them about the weekend gambling.
Oh, I guess we could. Let me just finish my Blake Lively rant.
Okay.
Anyways, go to the website. It's just crazy. I'm just so glad someone is standing up to.
Well, on all the, because I follow like people, Us Weekly on Instagram, and everyone posts like how Blake Lively's coping. I'm like, she's started it.
Have you seen that Taylor Swift has dropped her as a friend? It's so rude.
Oh, really?
Oh, my gosh.
But all the outlets are like in support of them, which just shows you they're
Not
all
recently.
Like, no, like today. Like people, all those.
Oh, all mine are not.
But it's crazy because it's like, oh, poor Blake and Ryan. I'm like, well, didn't they initiate the lawsuit?
They did, and now they're supposedly going to drop it. But I don't think he's dropping his.
No.
No, but Taylor Swift isn't her friend right now because she doesn't want to get involved in the lawsuit.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm like,
way
when
to
you
be
were
a friend.
meeting at the penthouse, you know?
Yeah,
you
they
involved.
met at the penthouse. They tried to threaten him. So anyways, Justin Baldoni, we're still on your team.
Yeah.
I love it. Actually, Tisha really likes it.
What?
Him.
No. I was like, no.
Okay.
Atlas is super cute.
Speaking of this weekend and Tisha judging me, we went on a cheer trip. Yeah. Shocking. We went to Palm Springs with our girls for a cheer trip, and there happened to be a casino within 5 minutes.
5 minutes walking from the competition.
If you've been listening to us for a long time, you know that Tisha makes fun of my gambling all the time.
Right.
You know that I'm a gambler. I love it. I love it so much.
Do not love gambling. I feel like it's the biggest waste of money. And she gets so like focused in where it's hard to pull her away when she's winning. And I'm like, we got to go. Let's go.
She's called me a loser.
She's like, one more, two more.
She's called me a loser. She's told me I had a gambling problem. She's told my kids I have a gambling problem.
You are a loser. I said, it's loser.
Yep. And she told Kyle I have a gambling problem. She said, you have problems. No. Let's just review some of the things you've said to me. And then now, our kids were standing in the freezing cold, and we were still spinning that wheel. I wasn't even gambling. I was supporting you.
Yeah. So first of all, if the people that have girls in All-Star Cheer, you drop your daughters, and then there's like a 2-hour gap.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Oh,
and you know
the first time. Well, I almost missed them competing first.
You're right.
I first almost missed them competing because I was on a what is it, heater? That's what Ben and Kyle call it.
Heater.
The machine was hot. People were around me.
Tell them what happened.
Okay, so we dropped the girls. There's a 2-hour gap before we have to be back to watch them compete. So, Crystal, I'm like, okay, we can go to the casino. So I get $100 out. I'm like,
Is that all you got out?
Yes. I'm like, I'm only getting $100. So I try a couple machines, blah, I'm losing it. I think I was down to $36.
That's it?
Yes. So
it's so depressing. You're like, it's almost over.
Oh, it's almost over. So I go to this machine, and it's a Wheel of Fortune, but it's like
Vanna.
Yes, it's like a different Wheel of Fortune.
Vanna.
It's Vanna. It's got the live Vanna.
Yeah.
And Vanna's looking great. I'm like, how old is Vanna? She looks better than I do. But like, she was an adult when I was a kid, so I'm like, what's Vanna doing? And
she's a virtual Vanna.
I'll have what she's having. She's so tiny and skinny and like no wrinkles. I'm like, what is going on? So anyways, so I'm gambling, and so I'm playing the minimum, and I start winning. And if you know me, I never play like higher than the minimum because it goes so fast. When you're playing $3 a bet.
It does.
So I always gamble the minimum. Crystal always gambles high, and I'm like,
no, I start low, gamble high. Same thing that happened to me.
Yeah, but I was like, how do you gamble high? Like, that is so stressful to me. So I'm gambling, and I'm hitting the low, and I start winning. And I'm like, this is crazy. So, like, the machine is going crazy. It's every other spin is winning. Even little amounts from like $2 to $3 up to like $12. Every other spin. People are starting to like congregate around me. There was this one guy like Phoebe the lurker, like on Friends. There was a lurker.
Yeah.
I don't think he even had any money, but he was watching me. Yeah.
Yeah, he was there.
And I kept looking at him. And I was like, and Crystal does this thing too where she's talking to everyone at the casino, and I'm like, weird. These people are weird. And then I was doing it with the weird people. I'm not judging.
You were talking to him?
I was like, yeah. You know, and I was like, I was doing like this face, like, you know, win again. Like I was trying to be modest, but like, it was like a humble brag, win again. Like, it's not me, it's the machine. But I was like, you know? And he's like, And so I'm like, so then I was like, wait a minute. So I'm getting so many spins, and it's only one prong. So then I look, and if you bet higher, you get 4 prongs, which means you win 4 times. So I was like,
on the wheel.
I'm going to do it. So now I've escalated. I'm betting $3 a spin, which is like an obscene amount of money. And I'm just winning. I'm looking around like, where's my friends? She's gone. And I'm like, I got to share this with somebody, so I'm sharing with him. You know, I'm sharing it with the randoms that are congregating, and like the people that are there midday.
What did you say about Vanna?
And Vanna, oh yeah. So then every time I win, Vanna comes on the screen, and she's like, keep going. She like encourages you personally, so you feel like it's like, I'm doing
you and
this.
Vanna?
Yeah. And I'm doing this. It's not the machine. It's I'm pushing the button. She's like, great job. Like, I am doing a great job, Vanna. Thank you. And I am a winner, Vanna. And so now it's escalating where I'm like winning so much. I've now gone from $36 up to $460.
The highest you've ever
The highest I've ever won. And I am like on cloud 9. Now I look at my phone, and it's time for us to go. I'm like, oh, so I call Crystal. I'm like, hey, 5 more minutes? She's like, yeah, okay. I'm like, okay, bye. So I hang up. So I'm just winning. Vanna's on there, and Vanna's like, yeah, big winner. And I'm like, yeah, Vanna? Yeah, I am. I'm like, yeah, who's your... I'm your daddy, Vanna. Like, I was like it was like a sicko. It was like a sick person. I was like so ashamed, but I wasn't that ashamed. And so I'm looking at the guy, Vanna's mine. And so I'm just like, it got so crazy. So then now the girls are going on in 10 minutes. I'm like, we gotta go.
I know, I'm like, where is she? I'm waiting outside.
It escalated at one point. I was betting $5 a spin, which is like absurd. So then I give like 200 of it back, but I'm still up. So then we cash out and we have to run. So I didn't even have time to like cash out my ticket and get cash. So then we had to come back at the end of the night. And our daughters are waiting outside in the cold outside the convention center.
We'll go get the car because it was parked at the casino.
So
which is weird too.
And so back to when we had to run to the competition. Crystal's already outside waiting for me, which
shocking.
I'm usually the one doing that for you. And she's like, where are you? I'm like, I'm winning. It's crazy.
Oh, I'm crying.
But I feel like I judged you, and I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say, because I can admit when I'm wrong.
Barely.
So, barely. This never happens, but I'm admitting it.
So we go back to get the car.
To cash in my ticket.
Okay, yeah. To get the car and to cash in her ticket. It's 7 o'clock at night. We have a 4-hour drive. I did encourage it. I said, like let's go see Vanna. Because
I was telling her what was happening.
Yeah, Vanna, I was like, I want to see Vanna. Yeah, and she did.
And her arms are so buff. I'm like, Vanna's been doing this on the side, and I'm going to be doing that, Vanna. And I don't know. So we go back, and then I'm like, oh, my machine is open, my same machine. I'm like, what's the chance it's going to happen again?
Yeah.
We put it in, it happens again.
Yeah, tell them who was there.
And the lurker was like there. And like, but why didn't he jump on the machine? I don't think he had any money. I think he's just a lurker. But like, I was fine with it. It was like I had a friend.
So then you won more.
So then I won more?
Yeah. The girls are calling us.
And Crystal was realizing what I was talking about. She's like, you keep winning. I'm like, I know, this is crazy.
Oh, it was
so the girls are calling us, and there's no service in Palm Springs, which, why is there no service?
Yeah, there's no service in all of Palm Springs.
So I'm like, get, and then they don't know what's happening. They're like, are you safe? I'm like, shut up. Hit it again, I'm like, God, these kids are annoying, I'm just gambling. But I now see, because I used to harshly judge people that like lose their life savings. And
now you get it.
I get it, because
it's such a high. She goes, I feel like I have to do drugs.
And I kept thinking I was going to win the grand, and I was going to take Crystal and I on a cruise, which that's like lesbian, because why am I not like paying something off or like.
Or like thinking of Ben.
Or thinking of Ben, like Ben and I are going to do, I'm taking Mommy on a cruise. We're going to Tahiti, baby, And I'm hitting it again. And no, it's weird. It's like you're a lesbian. Why? But I was just like, yeah. Mommy going to Tahiti with Vanna, I gotta watch it though, because.
So then we left and she's like on crack. She's like, I feel like I'm
driving all crazy. Yeah, I'm like, and I've never even done that, but that's how I felt. Like I was like all amped up, Kevin's like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I'm sweating, I'm like, I'm pitting out. I was pitting out the whole time. It was just whack.
Oh. I'm gonna be my pants.
No, but
You're
sorry.
so funny.
I'm sorry I judged you. Oh my gosh,
she's so funny when she tells a story. It's the best. Oh God, I want you
I'll
to
never forget it. It was like my
she
gambling
still wants to
cherry
go.
was
If
popped.
I said,
Even
let's
though
stop.
I've been, don't make a clip of that. That's like wrong. But like I've gambled, but it was not that. That was, I get it.
That's how it starts.
I get it.
No, but you are so funny. Oh my God, you got to tell the eyelashes story. Now that we're in story time, I love when Tisha tells stories. I used to make her tell stories every day just so I could laugh.
And like she'd start telling the story wrong.
Yeah, and it bugs her.
Because it bugs me. And then I'd go, no, you're telling it wrong, just so she'd do that just to get me to tell it.
Now I want to do more. Mo, tell the story about when we were, it was Thanksgiving and we were both single and we both wanted to go out to try to meet someone. Or no, you wanted to go
I was going to meet someone, remember?
Yeah, can you tell that story?
I don't remember it.
I'll get started. So anyways, you were like hanging out with some new people and you were maybe hooking up with one of them.
Yes.
And then you wanted to, he was like really cool. And
I think I wanted to make my ex-boyfriend jealous or something.
Yeah, because weren't they friends?
No. But he knew that I was hanging out with someone else.
Yeah, like a new group of friends.
Yes.
Yeah. So then you were hoping to be...
Well, I was always like, over my ex-boyfriend. And so I was finally done with him, and I was like, I'm going out tonight.
Remember,
Mama's going out tonight, I had bigger boobs then.
No, but why were you doing the mascara?
Oh, because someone called. Oh, so the guy I was going to hang out with called me to hang out.
You know when you have like plans, but you don't have plans?
Oh, I feel like Maddie does that. She's like made a whole plan in her head.
And it happens.
And no one's doing the plan, but then it happens.
It does happen.
I have that. So
you
I was
do
like,
that.
so I was like, tonight I'm going out and I'm going to kiss this guy. And
yeah.
So I was like, I'm done with that ex-boyfriend, and I'm gonna go kiss this new guy.
You don't get over someone until you get
under someone else. Yeah. And so I was doing that.
Which isn't true.
So I was like waiting around for me to call me. And this isn't like the best story. I'm not sounding like a great choice maker in this story.
We weren't good choice makers. That's what's great.
So I was like 21. So I was waiting for the new guy to call me, but I had already planned that he was going to call me in my head, and we're going to go, and we're going to do this, and I'm going to make the other guy jealous. Yes. And so I was...
And you're going to kiss.
Yeah. And so it was like the night of Thanksgiving. So, you know, like that night, you're done with your family and you're bored. So he called me, and I was like, I knew he was going to call me. And so he calls, and he's like, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, nothing, just sitting around, and I'm like... doing my mascara. I'm like, oh, nothing. You know, I'm like just laying around watching TV, and I was like getting ready, you know? And so it was just like, I was telling you, it's not even that funny.
It's so funny the way you do it. Because you were telling me the story, and you're like, he's going to call. Yeah. So I was getting ready, and then he called.
Yeah, he's like, what do you do? I'm like, oh, nothing.
Yeah.
Just bored. You know? I'm like, oh, nothing. What are you doing? You know? And like,
Did you do it or kiss that night?
I think we did.
Yeah. Did it work? Did he get jealous?
I don't remember.
Do you think that happens?
I think it's a toxic way of living.
Yeah, you're right.
It didn't get me anywhere good. Didn't end up with either of them.
For good reason, though.
Yeah. Thank God.
Yeah.
So anyways, no, that was a dumb story, but it was just
so
funny.
I love when you tell stories.
But you know when you're trying to pretend like you're not doing something, and they're like, what are you doing? Oh, nothing, you know?
Yeah, hoping that they want to do
something.
something.
I'm all plucking my nose hairs, just laying around.
Wait, do you do that?
Well, I wax them.
Still?
Yeah, Amy does it.
Oh, really?
I love Amy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't hurt.
No, it's
weird.
great.
You think it's gonna? Mm-hmm. Okay, moving on. We had another story we were gonna tell. That casino one got me really off track.
Oh, it was so funny.
Oh, I wanted to talk about the planes. Because Tisha's really, really scared to fly.
Well, with good reason. What's been going on lately? Every other day there's a plane. You were scared to fly
for the last 20 years, and now all of a sudden for good reason, because there was one plane crash.
There was 3.
2.
And then the fire plane. 3 plane incidents in 1 week.
Anyways, when we fly, it's really annoying. She's looking out the window like a crazy person. Tyler, I'll send a video because we need to show the video.
Yeah.
Like a crazy person. Like she thinks she's going to see something and be able to save someone.
I'd like to see what's going on. If the ground's getting closer, I want to see it.
Yeah.
You know?
It's really awkward. But anyways, the plane crashing's a little creepy.
Oh, this morning, so Ben went on a plane today. And so...
Oh, gosh. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, so this morning...
That's why you asked. It's so
That
rude.
is why. Well, because the way my brain works, I am a worst case scenario person. I like to...
real positive.
I know. I like to prepare myself for worst case so I'm not shocked by the devastation. So this morning... Ben is going to Austin for work for a couple of days, so he's flying there. So he's getting ready, and I'm like, hey, didn't you get a new life insurance policy recently? I feel like you did, because he told me he did. And I was like, hey.
Why did he get a new one? You told him to up it again?
Yeah, because I want so much money that I'm like.
It's like so whack.
No, I don't want to worry about money when I'm getting over my husband.
So you made him add another one? Didn't you already have a high one?
Yeah, we have like a few $1 million. I mean, it's not like That's 20 million, you know?
I don't think they would just do that.
No. Yeah. So anyways,
a few $1 million is a lot.
Totally.
Kyle has 500,000.
Yeah. No, I want so much that I'm not worrying about working, you know?
It's getting weird. If something happens to Ben, you saw it here first.
I'm going to eat up the rat poison. No, I'm just kidding. I love Ben. I would never do that.
He gets pneumonia.
Yeah, exactly. The Diddy, you know? So, yeah, he got diddied. No, so I'm like, hey, I know you got that new life insurance policy. I need you to send me the number because, again, Ben takes care of all the finances because that's his job. So I don't know anything. If something happened to him, I would be in the fetal position. I wouldn't know how to do anything. So I made him send me before, like, a list of all of our, like, accounts and insurance policies so that, like, when he's gone, I can know what to do.
You're telling the story
so this morning I say, hey, send me that new life insurance policy so if you die on the plane today, like, I know I can get the money. And he's, like, so upset.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I said it just like that.
Yeah, it's horrible.
And he looks at me and he goes, jeez. And it's like, I'm like, are you gonna cry? Like, it's so dumb. Like, I didn't mean, like, I want you to die. I mean, like, this sounds horrible.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's all bad.
No, I mean, like, if something happens to you because you're going on a scary plane and I'm scared, I want to be able to have this.
It wasn't showing him you're that scared. It was like, hey, if you kick the bucket today, I want to make sure I'm paid out.
Yeah.
That's how it sounds.
Well, that's what I meant.
Oh, my gosh.
But, like, obviously be devastated, but I need to be logical. And so he's
No,
like,
you just
"Jeez."
are obsessed with being rich.
He's like, "Geez," and I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Ugh." You could be like, "Oh, I'm gonna miss you," or like, and like,
Did you give him a tongue kiss on his way out?
no,
What?
a tongue on his way out.
Yeah. You gotta step up the tongue kissing a little.
I mean,
You're
do
not in a
people
tongue-
like tongue kissing?
Yeah.
I don't.
Who wouldn't?
Me. I don't know. It seems like a waste of time. Let's get to it, you know?
I know, but you don't like tongue anything.
What do you mean, tongue anything? Oh, yeah. I'm just not like, let's get it going, you know?
Well, then it's over.
I know. I'm fine with that.
No.
Dragging it out, you know? I sound like a horrible person. We got to move on.
No, okay. Let's move on.
People are going to hate me.
Speaking of tongues, what the heck happened with Kanye West and his wife on the red carpet? There was like 3 of them that were naked. Rihanna and her, it wasn't good.
The whole Grammys, I saw this thing that someone said, Grammys like 20 years ago and they were all in like nice dresses, and then Grammys today and the guy had a castle on his face.
He did?
Will Smith's son.
Oh.
It's weird.
Well, what's happened to him is sad.
Yeah, but like,
He's to cry for help.
why are we dressing like this? And then
It's an award show. Why aren't you just dressed nice?
it's just weird. Just weird.
I didn't watch it, did you?
No.
I don't think anybody watches it, do you?
No. I
But
just
why was
see
she
like
naked?
on scrolling on it's sad though.
She has a great body, though. It's like the best body.
The best body ever. Unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
It is. It's
But
like
fully
big in all the
naked.
right places.
But
Like
I've
butt,
seen her
boobs,
naked
skinny.
now. Like, it's on Instagram that she's naked. They didn't even blur it out for
And
a long
you don't
time.
feel good as a
No, I felt so bad for her.
yeah.
I know, it's sad. I felt really bad. Our family was sending it on the group chat this morning. Not
Yeah.
my immediate family, my older family.
Yeah.
Like sister and brother-in-laws. It was bad.
It's sad though
I know,
for
it's
her.
so sad. It's sad. My daughter's on Instagram. I don't want her seeing a naked girl.
I mean, I think there's a lot of naked people on Instagram in general.
I've never seen that naked.
Yeah.
Have you?
I've seen
never
some weird things on Instagram.
nipples, like full nipples. What's your feed like?
I know.
getting
Now I'm
concerned.
like, why am I seeing these naked women on my algorithm?
I don't see anybody naked.
Yeah, that is a little weird.
Let that thing pass.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on with naked people. That is another thing that happened. That was awful.
But
The
you
Grammys
said
are
you didn't
awful.
even think that was Kanye.
I don't think it's Kanye.
Yeah.
Well, I saw a clip that said, if I'm acting different, no, it's not me. And it was when he was in his Jesus era. Because he went from Jesus era to this. And it's weird. And then Northwest posted that same night pictures of their parents together.
Oh, sad.
It was so sad. Speaking of, you didn't watch church this week, I take it. It was about divorce. It was actually so interesting. Oh my gosh. And he talked about, Ashley, our pastor at CCV, he talked about how when his parents got divorced right after he got married. So he was very old. And he grew up in a really religious family.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And he talked about it was the hardest thing still he's ever been through and how painful divorce is.
Yeah.
Because God created us to be one bond. It was like so good. You would like it because it's very like Bible, like
Yeah.
the two men become one flesh.
Yeah.
And like why you're one. And then he had this depiction of this construction paper that was like, you know, the glue you paint on. Remember
Yeah.
the old school? You used to sniff it?
Yeah.
Did you?
No,
I
I
did.
didn't.
I love that song.
No.
Anyways, the adhesive, like you glue 2 pieces of like cardboard or construction paper
Right.
together, and he used that as the 2 people becoming one. And then in his sermon, he pulled it apart. And he's like, even though these 2 are separating, they were mangled.
Yeah.
Because they were one, and he pulled them apart, and they weren't meant to be pulled apart.
Right.
So he's like, this is divorce. He's like, it's brutal. You're not the same people anymore. It tears you apart.
Right.
It's 2 pieces that are left worse than when they started. Like if you took the 2 pieces
Yeah.
that were full.
Yeah.
He's like, this is what God's saying. He's saying that divorce isn't of me because it ruins something that I united. It's not supposed to be broken.
Right.
So when it is broken, it's so painful.
Right.
To the 2 people that have been divorced, to the kids, it's so painful.
everyone, yeah.
And he did talk about there's extenuating circumstances where divorce is the only option. And he
Right.
talked to actually men that are hearing this, and he like looked him in the eye and he's like, if you're abusing your wife, I'm not talking to you. He's like, you're disgusting because you're trying to manipulate her to stay, you know, using this sermon. It was really
Right.
good. And he said, like, you know, adultery, those things. If the other person isn't willing to change and isn't willing to unify, he's like, you can't stay.
Right.
But if you're both willing to, like, work together after adultery and forgive, then it still can create that bond because you're going back to God, and God
Right.
will make that bond pure again.
Which
So
we both
cool.
know people that have done
Yeah,
that
and
and
they're
worked
better
through
off
it.
for staying
Yeah.
through it. But they were both willing to really be sorry
Right.
and forgive.
And not make it again. It's not like over and over, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And like I know of people that they weren't even that sorry. It's like, how can you stay?
Yeah.
You know? So it was just like so good. And he talked about people that are going through it or thinking or on their way out and how, you know, it's better to go back to God, go back to fundamentals, and then God can change your marriage. Not like you pointing faults at each other.
Right.
It was really good.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
I'll have to watch it.
We watched it last night in bed. And then we watched Night Agent.
Yeah.
So good. I'm watching Younger. Have you ever watched Younger?
No. Is it
good?
It's
so good. It's Darren Star.
Yeah.
Who's like
90210.
90210.
No.
Sex and the City?
Yeah. Aaron Spelling was 90210.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sex and the City and Emily in Paris.
Oh, yeah.
I love Darren Star. And something else that I really love. It's so cute. They're 30-minute episodes.
Yeah.
She's trying to be 22.
Well, Ben's gone for the next few nights, so I'm going to watch like a show that we don't watch together.
Yeah, it's really cute. I've been watching that. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's happening. What else in life? What else do you want to talk about? Your hair?
No.
Down on the bottom? You're down below?
No. No.
You know?
Yeah, no.
The down.
There's
below.
none. Yeah.
You said you were growing it in.
No.
For the landing strip.
No.
Because for the pilots.
No, the pilot. Yeah, maybe don't keep the planes in the air, you know?
No, it's scary though, the pilots.
And we have to fly at the end of the month. I'm not excited.
But you're fine with your husband on a plane today.
I'm not fine, but what's he going
I
to
don't
do?
think you're that concerned. You're more concerned about you flying to Dallas than you are Ben on the flight today.
True. Because I don't want to experience the falling.
Yeah, I agree.
You
I'm
know?
more scared of that feeling.
If we blew up in the air and I
I'm not scared
died,
of dying as much as that feeling.
that's the only feeling I don't want.
Oh, I remembered what I wanted to talk about, work. So remember I was quitting, all of you, jerkies, I was quitting. I was really quitting that time. I'm not quitting again. Now we're back in it, going full-fledged. And so I went through the period of being very present, which I loved. It was really healing for me with my dad. But that period is changed a little bit. We're back to busy. And it's weird how when I wasn't that busy, I had peace. I could sleep through the night. Like it was crazy. And now I don't have that peace.
Are you back to not sleeping?
Yeah, I'm not sleeping great. Like I can't wait to go to bed for the mental break, you know?
But I think of things I need to do in the middle of the night.
So now that I'm going back into this busy season of like my mind being preoccupied, my phone ringing all the time, excuse me, it's weird to know how can you manage that and still have peace? I don't know if you know how. I don't know if listeners know how. I don't know if this is a battle for anyone else. Because I find that I'm way shorter with people that I do care about because of the juggling in my head. And like, you never listen to me when I'm talking to you and you're thinking of something else.
Right.
You're not there. So I think like you said, you get annoyed at your kids sometimes when you're on the computer.
Right.
And you're raging and yelling. But maybe it's something you wouldn't have been mad at if you wouldn't have been stressed.
Right. Well, yeah, I don't know how to balance it. I'm struggling. So
yeah, I have been doing my walks forever since 75 Hard.
Yeah.
And I haven't been doing that as much because the day's starting so crazy.
Right.
So I do think that's the thing that you get grounded first and you get your priorities in order. And like more I'm taking control of my day than my day's happening to me. Feels like it's twisting. Like my day's happening to me again and I'm not in control of it. I'm kind of like putting out fires all day.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I feel like in our line of work, it's hard to have, okay, I'm going to work these hours to these hours. It's a very like 24/7 things come up job and people need you 24/7. So that's where I struggle with maybe having a boundary.
Yeah.
And then if I'm not going to work right now, but I see something come up, not dealing with it would stress me out more because I'd be thinking of it the whole time. So it's almost better to just deal with it. But then I do feel like when the kids get home, I'm still working and I'd love to be able to give them.
To be done by then.
Yes.
That's actually not a bad goal.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think because it's not an 8 to 5, it's hard. I think being commission-based is hard as well. So you have to go when it comes because it might not come again. But then I think sometimes I need to be more trusting that it will come again and it will be consistent. Because I think, I don't know, it's just hard. All of a sudden you'll get 5 leads or calls. I don't even like the word lead of people that need help. And
it's not even about the commission. It's about if I don't help someone right now, they're going to feel like I don't want to help them.
Yeah,
exactly.
I agree.
So it's stressful. I don't want to like not get back to someone because then they feel like I'm not representing them and helping them. It's just like a lot of.
Because I'm not very motivated by money either, but it's weird because sometimes I think it's always so tempting to see the rise, right? If I work so much, I can get here. If I work hard at work, I can get this promotion. If I do this, I can get that. And I was talking to a friend of mine who is a jerky, and she was listening to the podcast about me being more present and how I did have that, and I still do. Sorry about the chair moving, but I still do have peace in a lot more areas than I did before I took that mental break of like not being busy and not really working or taking clients. And she said it was really relatable because she has 3 young kids and one older daughter that's a sophomore in high school. And she's like, as I'm looking at her time ending, and I have 3 more opportunities to be more present than I was with my first.
Right.
I'm kind of reevaluating that. But it's so crazy. In the same time, she just got a job offer that's like a triple to her income, double, easy double. And it's a lot of money.
Right.
And so she's like, it's weird that God's taking me in the divide of both seasons. I've never wanted to stay home more, and I've never gotten an opportunity for a higher paying job.
Right. That's so hard to.
So hard. But I'm like, isn't that ironic if you look from the outside? God's pulling you to stay home, and the devil's coming at you the best way possible.
With money, yeah.
Look at it. I mean, the job is like $300,000. That's a huge opportunity. Yeah. But I told her, you have to give to get.
I'll take her job. No, I'm just kidding.
You are probably thinking that. No, but I think for you, money is security of something you didn't have when you were younger.
Yes.
So like you crave that. And I think maybe there's that for a lot of people. But I always think when you give and you get. So you might be able to be given this opportunity, like you might be getting this opportunity, but you're going to give up a lot to get there.
Right.
And I think that's sometimes something we forget when we take on more. And I'm the queen of it. I take on a lot of things, like different hats, different opportunities. And I forget that when I take on something, I'm also giving away something else. Giving away being nice to Kyle when he gets home.
Yeah, saying yes to that is saying no to your family.
Yes.
Well, it's weird because when the kids were younger, I stayed home and I was Joe present mom, like never stressed about money, whatever, or never stressed about work. I was just present mom 24/7, and I loved that. And now I work and I'm super busy, and I feel like I felt like I did it. I stayed at home because they were little. And now they're in school and they're busy and they have their own things going on. And I'm feeling like, okay, now I can work. But as I'm finding out, I'm thinking these are maybe the moments I should have stayed home now.
Yeah.
And I should have worked then because now I feel like they need me in a different way.
They do.
And
it's crazy.
It's just hard because I always think I'm like, am I working too much? It's just such a hard thing.
It is for me too. I always told parents.
And I never understood when you were stressed about that,
Thank you.
Gosh, all these things are coming around to bite me
in the
butt.
And Crystal does this thing where when it happens to her, she doesn't care or whatever. No, it's just normal. Everybody does that.
Yeah.
We always judge until it happens to us.
Yeah.
And then we're like, oh, now I know what it feels like.
Yeah.
But when I was a teacher, parents always said, now that my kids are in high school, I'm going to go back to work. And I would encourage them, no, now's when they need you the most.
But it doesn't feel like they need you because
they're gone all day.
And you're not doing the little things that are needed. It's a
like
need. It's like an emotional need.
Yeah. Like when they're available to talk to me in the 5 minutes I get, I need to be
right
there.
So I think maybe that's the goal, is to just have those moments when you're with them, to be so present and be okay. I need to be okay with not getting back to the work people right away.
Yeah. Maybe we're having an epiphany.
Maybe we
try to button up everything by 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Literally. And then let the fires
or
wait
like
till the morning.
3:30, and then I can come back when they're at practice.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I think in the car rides are my favorite, and those are going to go away soon because they'll be driving. But there's only so much time they'll really talk to me. Yesterday, I had such a crazy day that when I got home and they all got home, it was one of those nights that everyone was home, and I hate when everyone's in their rooms or on their phone. But I was so tired last night that I was like, I don't care. I want to be in the bath, and I want to see Kyle.
Right.
Because I haven't seen him.
Yeah.
And I always battle that. Like, I don't see my kids and Kyle when we're out of town with one of our kids, and I get home, I feel like they all need attention. But then I've been trying to go to my husband first.
Right.
Because I feel like you got to pour at the top, and then it'll trickle down.
Well, at the end of the day, that will make them happier than you being there for them.
Yeah, we had the funniest thing, though. Kyle's the strict one, my husband, and he's the no guy. He says no to everything. That was what I said I wanted from him in our marriage church thing, but it's still getting no. But
maybe rewatch that one.
Yeah, maybe I try I'm going to be against the window.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but he took the kids and he had the best weekend. And so it was awesome because sometimes when we're together and he's not being dad, and I think some moms can be controlling where they don't relinquish control when the dad's there, or dads can be controlling and they don't relinquish control. We think we need to micromanage the other partner. And I think like we've been gone so much that I'm like, I don't know what goes on when I'm not there. for the weekend.
Right.
And he just did such a good job.
Yeah.
Like he did take Maddie to In-N-Out after, pick her up, took all the girls TPing, like things. If I was home, he would be yelling at me.
Right.
But because it's just him, he's like being such a more present, happy dad.
Well, he's like me. I like to be included in things. If I'm not included, I'm like, that's stupid. So I think sometimes you're trying to help by handling it all.
Yeah.
And you're
taking from him.
You're like, oh, I'll handle this. I don't want to bother him. But he's actually happier when he is bothered and involved. Because then he's way more, he knows what's going on. He's in the loop and he likes to be fun too, you know?
Yeah, he's so fun. And he isn't always.
But when he's not in the loop, he just sees you running ragged and he's like, what are you doing?
We're not going TP.
Right.
He would have said, no, there's toilet paper all over our garage.
Yeah.
I'm like, how much did you buy? Like, I would have been in so much trouble.
Oh, totally. But that's why I think that's where you need to kind of get him in. You know, you got to include him more maybe.
I know, but if I include him, he just says no.
No. Well, he didn't this weekend.
I know, because it was just him. I think I need to leave more.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Or just say, I can't do this. I need you to do this, even if you can.
Yeah. All the things. Yeah, and tongue kiss. Why don't you work on tongue kissing? I'll work on including. Yeah. Or doing another downstairs.
Oh, my God.
Jeez.
Stop it.
All right, let's sum up here.
So gross.
It's not.
Not gross, but like the tongue out right now, it's just a lot for... I'm picturing it.
All right, guys. This week, be present, tongue kiss, and do the other things.
Oh, my gosh.
Welcome to Jerking Around, a podcast that makes you feel better about yourself because we're a mess, just like you.
And Crystal makes fun of me the whole time.
And it's great, and it's real.